11 plus deep lessons from the book Do It Today by Darius Foroux. Number 1. Every time I put off a decision, hit the snooze button, skipped the gym, or didn't complete my tasks because I didn't feel like it, I always had an explanation for my continual procrastination. I told myself I was tired, or that it could wait until tomorrow. Who cares if you put off something, right? Well, you should care, because you're the one who's responsible for your life. Too often, we look at productivity tips, apps, or tools as the magic answer to our problems. But that also means we allow ourselves to blame external things for our lack of productivity. No, it's not me. It's my old laptop. It sucks and I can't work this way. The office is too loud. People keep calling and emailing me. I never have time. Battling procrastination is an inner battle. I always have to keep reminding myself of that. When you procrastinate, you always want to do it tomorrow. I'm still like that. I think that's hardwired into us. The difference between me now and 3 years ago is small but simple. I rely on a system to live a productive, happy, and purposeful life. Number 2. How many minutes of undisturbed work do you get done on an average day? 10, 20, maybe 50 minutes. If you think that sounds low, just examine your life. Most of us can't go undisturbed for more than 10 minutes. We're all so connected that it becomes impossible to find time to focus on yourself and your work. Some of us get hundreds of notifications and messages per day. You find yourself answering a WhatsApp message here, an email there, talk to a friend, and then talk to a colleague on Slack. Most people's days consist of answering to notifications. In a way, you're held captive by others. Busyness is not a good thing, because busyness and distractions go hand in hand. Want no distractions? Move to the woods. But that's not how life works. Plus, modern-day life is too good. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said this in Letters from a Stoic. There is never a time when new distraction will not show up. There are always distractions. So you better train yourself to manage your attention, not your time, because that's the biggest mistake people make. We falsely believe that we can manage time, but time can't be managed. The only thing you control is your attention. And remember, focus determines the quality of your life. No focus means no control of your attention, and no control means frustration. We all know what frustration leads to. Start managing your attention, not your time. Number 3, building a business or career is hard. It requires you to do difficult, tedious, and unsatisfying tasks. If you want more clients or work, no one is going to hand it to you. You have to hustle. Do content marketing, one-on-one sales, network, or whatever method you use to grow your business. And if you want to climb the corporate ladder, you have to form alliances, be strategic, outperform your targets, and be great at what you do. That's what you should do, right? Most of us already know these things, or you will find out about it. There's no such thing as a secret to succeeding at work. However, we prefer to escape work, and that's at the core of procrastination to me. You know what you have to do, but you don't do it. Instead, you open a news site and start reading useless news items. Number 4. For most of my life, I've been a habitual procrastinator. When I had my first summer job at age 16, I did everything not to work. I had an inside sales job at a telecom company, and I had to sell mobile contracts to clients. The company had software that would automatically call the next client when you finished a call. So you would be on the phone constantly, but I found a way around that process. After every call, you had to log your activity on the system. Things like, client is interested but has to discuss it with her grandson. Yes, I sold to a lot of elderly people. Not proud of it. As a professional procrastinator, I took a lot of time to craft a lengthy summary of the call. When my manager asked me about my low number of calls per day, I told him, if one of my teammates calls the client, they know she had to talk to her grandson. That's valuable information, right? I did everything to put off the next call. I also procrastinated during my years at university, pursuing a master's degree in marketing. I always waited until the last moment to finish an assignment or study for an exam. I even procrastinated when I worked as a freelance marketing consultant. After I graduated, I'm doing research. This time, I told myself, I didn't understand why I always put off things to the last moment. I thought it was a part of my character. And many of my friends were similar. They would say, "Who wants to work? Let's have some beer." This is what I believed. Work is something you don't like to do. You just do it because you need money and status. Sadly, many of us believe that is the truth. Fortunately, my procrastination behavior changed this year. It wasn't some kind of magical productivity hack or software that turned me into a productivity machine. I'm more productive and focused than ever, and I'm more satisfied with my work than in the past. Number 5, procrastination has been around since the start of modern civilization. Historical figures like Herodotus, Eleanor Roosevelt, and hundreds of others have talked about how procrastination is the enemy of results. One of my favorite quotes about procrastination is from Abraham Lincoln: "You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today." The funny thing about procrastination is that we all know that it's harmful. Who actually likes to procrastinate? No one enjoys doing that. Me neither. And yet, procrastination was the story of my life. Procrastination is not innocent behavior. It's a sign of poor self-regulation. Researchers even compare procrastination to alcohol and drug abuse. It's serious, and I've experienced that for many years. The years after I got out of college were also a struggle in terms of starting and finishing work. Procrastination is a habit that just sneaks into your system. It's not something you can shake easily. Every time I had an idea or a goal, I would start. But along the way, things would go wrong. I went from start to total chaos. Distractions, other ideas, other opportunities, failure, negative self-talk, etc. would get in the way, and the results are always the same. You never get anything done. Number 6. The reason I study productivity is that I'm an unproductive person. I truly am. I sleep too much. I talk too much. I read too much. I listen to music all day. I watch movies. I buy gadgets that turn me into a zombie. If it weren't for my productivity system, I'd get nothing done. I wouldn't even write this article. But if you browse social media, all you see is super productive, healthy, and wealthy people. Is that really the case? I don't know. I just know this: you can't be productive 24/7. And a big part of being productive is about getting rid of unproductive habits we all have. What follows is a list of 10 unproductive habits that I learned to do less or eliminate. Do you have a few of these habits? Don't worry, we're all unproductive at times. But if you have 5 or more, it might be time to change. One thing is sure: no one wants to be an unproductive person. Number 7. After a busy day, it's quite challenging to wind down and get ready for a good night's sleep. Too often, I find myself working until late. And sometimes I might find myself reading or watching a TV show. And when you're ready to go to sleep, you can't. Your mind is buzzing with thoughts you don't want at that time of day. It's no secret that a lot of people have difficulties with sleeping. According to the National Sleep Foundation, 45% of Americans say that poor or insufficient sleep affected their daily activities at least once in the past 7 days. Why is the evening so important? Well, you might have a perfect morning ritual, a fully planned calendar, and the intention to crush your day, but if you lack the energy, you're not doing anything productive. During the past 6 months, I've experimented a lot with evening and morning rituals. What I've found is that a morning ritual is easy to implement in your life, but they're also easy to quit. When we wake up tired, we often fall back on our not helpful habits. End result, you lose and life wins. You end up not focused, out of control, agitated, and just not happy overall. That's why I've created an evening ritual that helps me to get ready for some well-deserved rest. We all know it. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. But too often, life gets in the way, and we don't follow common sense. Number 8, believe me, that thing you're using to read this article is not your friend. And even if you're reading this on your laptop or PC, there's one thing I want to ask you. How important is your device to you? I was shocked when I read a weird statistic a while back. An experiment, which was conducted by the Universities of Würzburg and Nottingham-Trent, revealed that 37.4% of the participants rated their phone as more or equally important in relation to their close friends. Weirdos. Seriously, what's wrong with people? 29.4% of those weirdos even said their smartphone was equally important or more important to them than their parents. Or is there something wrong with me? Am I just an old school person who likes to read books all day and only has a few close friends and family members that he actually values? Look, I'm not joking around. Smartphones are dangerous. Not because they may cause stress, anxiety, and even depression, but because they change your behavior. It seems like we can't focus on one thing for more than 5 seconds. Why? Well, we can't because our smartphone is constantly going off. Not because people are calling you. It seems like people are afraid of calling these days, but that's another topic. But because you're constantly getting notifications about things that don't matter. Number 9. Do you always worry that you didn't do a good job? Do you always question your work and your actions? Are you afraid of admitting your mistakes? Does rejection make you feel like shit? If so, you're in great danger. I'm not a perfectionist myself. At least that's what I try to tell myself. I bet that you try to tell yourself that as well. In fact, the people who don't admit it are the worst. But here's the thing. If you're a perfectionist, you're just a procrastinator with a mask. It's no different from someone who's lazy and does nothing at all. Don't believe me? Let's take a look. A perfectionist always waits for the right moment, never makes mistakes, always needs more time. But at the end of the day, life and work are about outcomes. Results matter. And if you're a perfectionist, you might get the outcome someday. But the question is, when and at what cost? Research specifically shows that perfectionism is closely related to depression and low self-esteem. Perfectionists are their own devils. Jack Kirby, is the price of perfectionism really worth it? I've found that perfectionism is just another form of procrastination. When you constantly worry about making mistakes, doubt creeps in your mind. Number 10. You recharge your phone when it runs out of juice. You refill your gas tank when you're running on empty. But sometimes, you forget to do the same for your most precious possession, your body, and the brain that's inside of it. Whether you love what you do, are in between jobs, or have a job you hate, you're working. Living is also a job. A pretty tough one, actually. Just the act of getting up in the morning can be a daunting task. And I'm not even talking about all the responsibilities we have. So, why do you make your life even more challenging by not taking a vacation to recharge? I'm not talking about your weekends that are packed with activities, or holidays where you work more than relax. No, that type of free time doesn't serve a purpose. I'm talking about resting with a very specific reason, to recharge your battery so you can keep working hard. To me, life is about working hard. Voltaire said it best. The further I advance in age, the more I find work necessary. It becomes in the long run the greatest of pleasures and takes the place of the illusions of life. Number 11. What does success look like? What do you want from life? What career do you want? Most of us answer, I don't know. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And yet, we think it's the worst thing in the world if you don't know what you want to do in life. We say, OMG, I don't know what I want. And then we have a full-on panic attack. Be honest, it happens to all of us, especially when you see that your old college friend just got married, or that your coworker, who started at the same time as you, just got promoted. It's at those moments of weakness when we shine a spotlight on our own uncertainty about life. One of the biggest thinking errors that I've made was that I thought I needed to know what I exactly wanted to do with my life. The truth is that no one knows what they truly want.